Under a tarp out in the rain, peeking from the plastic was her honeycomb bed. I sat down on a water trough, wrung my hands and cried. Suppose we're all just animals with slightly different heights. I never got used to watching horses die. They die badly, and it just kept me up at night. I never got used to watching horses die. Count my pretty ponies when I greet the morning light. I never got used to watching horses die. They die badly, and it has kept me up at night. I never got used to watching horses die. Count my pretty ponies when I greet the morning light. Excess herds are growing by the day. The once prized domestic pet ain't worth the price of hay. They've been turned out on the strip mines, get to starving once it's snowed. They'll wander off the mountaintop to lick salt off of the roads. This little girl inside me is chomping at the bit. She cannot save them all, a truth hard to admit. I never got used to watching horses die. They die badly, and it has kept me up at night. I never got used to watching horses die. Count my pretty ponies when I greet the morning light. I never got used to watching horses die. Count my pretty ponies when I I like to disguise that tragic song with a very upbeat and peppy sense. You will find that is a common theme amongst the music by the local honeys. We like to sing about sad ass shit, but we like a pocket and we like a groove. And it feels good to sing sad songs every now and then. I wrote that song and I sent it to Montana and she goes, "Dude, are you okay?" No. Here's another one exactly like that. It's absolutely dreadful. And, but we'll trick you. We'll attempt to trick you.
Well, the floor feels like one that I could skate on. I ain't got the coffee to rely on, so I slip and slide right into the bathroom, like that freckled little fawn from the cartoon. I ain't in there long before I get lonely, start looking for the first thing to hold me. On the carpet there's a mirror, and on the inside, that's where all my good buddies sit in the sunshine. They don't all get along, but that's alright. Like that one time, remember, on prom night. But I'm smarter than them, and I love a good fight. And I'll go, and I go, and the time's right. If I could stop this aching in my knee, if I could quit this dragging of my feet, then I might make it out of this world alive. trust no one, treat me in my pain. So I self-medicate every morning while I stare at the cracks in the flooring. What I'm trying to find is the right aid. I can put it on my card, I got Medicaid. But now, 'cause the new batch they brought in, I give up more tabs for Suboxone. If I could stop this aching in my knees, if I could quit this dragging of my feet, then I might make it out of this world alive. If I could stop this aching in my knees, if I could quit this dragging of my feet, then I might make it out of this world alive. Good evening, all you fine people of Cumming, Georgia. How you doing out there? I can see a few of you. Can't see all of you. That's all right. Hey, how you doing? Hey. I just want you all to know that Instagram censored our post when we said that we were playing in Cumming, Georgia. They put us on the naughty list. I'm glad all y'all found out about this.
If this is the naughty list, I want to be here. There is donkeys, there is ponies, there is everything that we need right here.
Well, we're the local honeys. We're out of Kentucky. I'm very happy to be here this evening with y'all. I do want to put a disclaimer out early on in the show that we are not a gospel band. There is a bit of confusion, and it's our fault, I'll admit. We recorded a gospel album years ago, and that's to blame or thanks to Linda. This is Linda. Years ago, she came to me and she said, "You know what we ought to do?" And I said, "What do we ought to do?" And she said, "We should put out a gospel album." I said, "That's a terrible idea." She said, "Why?" And I said, "Well, we cuss, and we don't go to church, and you know, I don't know. What do you want our music to be, in Cracker Barrels?" And she said, "Yeah, that's exactly what I want." So I truly thought it would be blasphemous, and I fought her on it, but Linda usually gets her way, and we recorded a gospel album. But I made her a deal like any good Christian would, and I said the only way I'm going to put out a gospel album is if I get to do this song on it, and this is that song. Dashboard of my car. Well, it comes in colors pink and pleasant, and glows in the dark seas, phosphorescent. I'll take him with me when I travel far. Well, get yourself a sweet Madonna, dressed in rhinestone, sitting on a pedestal, a Babylonian shell. I'm a-going 95 Mary, 'cause I've got the Virgin Mary riding on the dashboard of my car. Well, I don't care if it rains or freezes, as long as I've got my plastic Jesus riding on the dashboard of my car. Well, it comes in colors pink and pleasant, it glows in the dark seas, phosphorescent. Take him with me when I travel far. Now get amen, DR. When I go a fornicating, I've got my ceramic setting smiling on the dashboard of my car. While the man will know I'm on the level, thanks to the wild eyed stoneware devil sneering on the dashboard of my car. Well, I don't care if it rains or freezes, as long as I've got my plastic Jesus riding on the dashboard of my car. Well, it comes in colors pink and pleasant, goes in the dark seas phosphorescent. Take me with me when I travel far. That I'm tired, they'll never find my bottle, though they ask. For plastic Jesus shelters me, for his head comes off, you see. He's hollow and I use him for a flask. Well, I don't care if it rains or freezes, as long as I've got my plastic Jesus riding on the dashboard of my car. Well, it comes in colors pink and pleasant, it goes in the dark seas phosphorescent. With me when I travel far. Yeah, he's always with me when I travel far. And all God's children said,
Amen. I'd call our gospel album a very tongue-in-cheek display of gospel music. It's got some beautiful stuff on there, and then it's got some fun stuff on there. Are the Blue Sky Boys from Georgia? Are they from Alabama? They have a song called I'm S-A-V-E-D. We recorded that. I think they're Georgia boys. Or close to the realm. We've been on the road for about 4 weeks straight. We're about gone crazy, if you can believe it. Somebody said, oh yeah. Please don't let me be a lonely old man sitting up drinking coffee in some all-night drug stand. So silent and sorry, so deathly alone. No wife and no family, no friends and no home. All my young life I spent rambling round. Never saved up no money, never put my roots down. And I'm lost at some crossroads with no hope to turn back. One road is a true road and one's straight and black. Please don't let me be a lonely old man sitting up drinking coffee in some all-night drug stand. So silent and sorry, so deathly alone. No wife and no family, no friends and no home. Slip by in the blink of an eye. Hold fast, dear, in good times, how quickly they fly. Like the leaves in the autumn, your youth will pass. Till you nod to the waitress to fill up your glass. Please don't let me be a lonely old man sitting up drinking coffee and small night truck stand. So silent and sorry, so deathly alone. No wife and no family, no friends and no home. No wife and no family, no friends and no home. Good morning, my darling, I'm telling you this to let you know that I'm sorry you're sick. Though tears of sorrow won't do you no good, I'd be your doctor if only I could. What do you want from the liquor store? Something sour, something sweet. I'd buy you all that your belly can hold. You can be sure you want something no more. Canal to get to you, darling, just to wish you well. There's no place I wouldn't hasten to go to cool the fever. This I want you to know. What do you want from the liquor store? Something sour, something sweet. I buy you all that your belly can hold. Be sure you want something no more. I'll get all the medicine that money can buy. Stick with me, baby, hold on and fight. Take a good rest, I won't prolong the flight. What do you want from the liquor store? Something sour, something sweet. I'd buy you all that your belly can hold. You can be sure you won't suffer no more. But then these words from you stating you're sick has made me sick too. What do you want from the liquor store? Something sour, something sweet. I'd buy you all that your belly can hold. You can be sure you won't suffer no more. What do you want from the liquor store? Something sour, something sweet. I'd buy you all that your belly can hold. You can be sure you won't suffer no more. You can be sure you won't suffer no more.
no more.
From Flat Bottom, Kentucky on the fiddle and the electric guitar, folks.
Everybody comfortable? Okay. Are you sure? You tell me. Are you mad at me? Okay. I know I already spoiled it, but over here to my right, your left, I think. From my best good friend in the whole wide world from Woodford County, Kentucky, this is Linda Jean Stokely. People have been asking me and Linda a lot lately, how long y'all been singing together? And we never could put it together. We were just like, I don't know, a long time. So we figured we ought to put a number on it, right? And we think we met 13 years ago and started playing music 12 years ago. We were unsure about each other at first. But we met in college at Morehead State University in Morehead, Kentucky. Go Eagles. And I was on my first lap of my junior year of college, and I was flunking out of my pre-veterinary medicine classes. Biology. I thought I was good at it in high school, but I went to a very small high school. So I figured I should, pump the brakes on that and try to find something else to do. And I took a semester of easy A classes, you know the kind. My dad called them fluff. And among that, I found on the registrar banjo lessons. And our old hillbilly school, they have banjo lessons. And it turns out there was a whole program called the Kentucky Center for Traditional Music. And you could get a whole degree in hillbilly music. They'd let you take out a whole ass student loan to major in banjo. Same loan that they give pre-med students. And so I started signing up for those classes. I didn't even have a banjo. I borrowed my instructor's banjo. And I met Linda, and I remember I walked in and I was carrying a banjo case and she said, hey, she was the only girl in that program. She was learning how to play the fiddle. And she said, hey, do you play that thing? And I went, oh, no. And then a little while went by and she was pretty much like, you're going to have to be my friend. And I went, okay. And I remember one day she said, hey, you want to hang out and play some music? You want to play some tunes? And I'd never been asked that in my life. I wasn't a musician at all. And I was like, oh, man, no, that's not a good idea. I know like 3 tunes on this thing. And she said, that's okay, we'll burn them up. And that's what we did. We played those same 3 tunes for the first 5 years and learned a few more. And We've been playing the same tunes over and over for about 12 years, and it's been a ball. It's really been. And this is one of them that we've been playing for a very long time. It's by the late great Gene Ritchie out of Hazard, Kentucky. That's Perry County. If you don't know where Hazard, Kentucky, it's in the coal fields in eastern Kentucky. It was one of the epicenters of Kentucky coal. And millions, if not billions of dollars of coal was hauled out of there, mostly by rail, by the L&N Railroad. And it's, coal in eastern Kentucky is no different than anywhere else that, has an extractive industry. It operates on this boom and bust cycle. It's easy to tell the difference, and it doesn't matter if it's coal or if it's logging or if it's fishing, if it comes out of the earth, it ebbs and flows. It's easy to tell the difference if you have a railroad running through your town. Because if it's good, that train's running all day, right? And if it's not so good, you hardly see that train. I grew up in a railroad town, and my dad was a locomotive engineer for CSX. He blew the whistle as many times as he could. He wanted everybody to know he had a big load of money behind him. This is L&N Don't Stop Here Anymore. Don't you be a dusty miner like me. I was born and raised at the mouth of a high school, where the coal cars rode and rumbled by my door. Oh, but now they're standing in a rusty row of empty, and the L&N don't stop. And her face is white as February snow. I was born and raised at the mouth of a high school, where the coal cars rode and rumbled by my door. Oh, but now they're standing in a rusty row of empty, and the L&N don't stop here no There's leaves and grass growing right through the floor. I never thought I'd learn to love that courthouse. I never thought I'd pray for Tipple's roll. Oh, how I wish grass would turn to money and greenbacks fill my pockets once more. I was born and raised at the mouth of a house where the coal cars rolled and rumbled by my door. Up and down the standing rusty road empty, and the yelling and don't stop no more. He don't like breathing this way, but it's lucky he's breathing it all. 35 years in a methane cave makes your lungs all black and raw. Got a pinch between his cheek and gum, got a pinched nerve in his neck. Rocking back and forth through the shuttle cars, he's rolling towards a nervous wreck. Way down in the hole where he earns his pay, it's dark and unforgiving. Digging this skull, digging his grave, he's dying to make a living. He's dying to make a living. He don't like walking this way, but it's lucky he's walking at all. The doctor said he's 5'8", but he used to stand 6 foot tall. Got a bone from his hip in his lower back, got screws in both his legs. Takes cheap work cause he's gotta have cash, now he's gotta have Percocet. Way down in the hole where he earns his pay, it's dark and unforgiving. Digging this skull, digging his grave, he's dying to make a living. He's dying to make a living. He don't like living this way, but it's lucky he's living it all. 35 years as a black jewel slave, praying that the roof don't fall. Got 2 heavy eyes and 3 slip discs, sleeps when the metal spine. Daydreams fade on the hoot owl ship, you work down in the mine. Way down in the hole where he earns his pay, it's dark and unforgiving. Digging the skull, digging his grave, he's dying to make a living. He's dying to make a living. He's dying, trying to make a living. 2, 3. Thank you. Hey Chip, are you around here? Close? We're gonna do something that we didn't talk about. I should have talked about this with you. But I'm gonna do 2 things at once. Could we turn on the floor mics also? And leave this one on? It's gonna be a lot. Okay. I'm extra. Which I think everyone already knew.
Extra ridiculous. You good? Awesome. Testing. All right. Now that we know this is all good. Thanks again for Bailey coming in and being a part of this evening. I'm really excited to listen to their new record. We maybe have some new music on the horizon as a segue. But maybe not, I don't know. Is everybody like, what the hell is this instrument? Bailey's the only one I know of that knows what this instrument is. Can anyone guess what this instrument is? Hell yeah! 50 gold points! And stars, all of them. This is like Whose Line Is It Anyways? You can earn points at this show. Points don't matter. This is a song that we learned from our friend Rich Kirby. He learned a lot of music from his grandma. And this was a song that she collected. She was known as a human tape recorder. She knew hundreds, thousands of songs. It's called Darling, Don't You Know That's Wrong?
Darling, don't you know that's wrong? Darling, don't you know that's wrong? Love another woman and you don't love me, babe. Don't you know that's wrong? I can't get along with you. I can't get along with you. Work for my money, bring it all to me. What else can a poor girl do? I can't get a letter from home. I can't get a letter from home. Trains on the track ain't coming back. I can't get a letter from home. Now don't sidetrack that man. Darling, sidetrack that man. Sidetrack that man. Come and go with me. You know I'll treat you right. Who's gonna shoot your feet? Who's gonna glove your hand? Who's gonna kiss your rosy cheeks while I'm in a foreign land? Papa will shoot my feet. Mother will glove my hand. Baby will kiss my rosy cheeks while you're in a foreign land. Darling, don't you know that's wrong? Love another woman
Cool. All right, now I'm not going to do two things at once, if that helps, Chip. Awesome. There you are. Thank you. Also, excellent change of light at that particular moment. That was cool. I really dug that. Y'all, this is Chip. Give it up for Chip. We got any Lonesome Dove fans out there? Yeah. I wasn't even done. Does anyone like Lonesome? Yes! All right. Cool. Then they're here. They're present. Awesome. I, too, am a Lonesome Dove fan. I grew up watching it with my great-uncle Claudie. He introduced me to Lonesome Dove and all sorts of really cool old westerns. And I don't know about you, but, you know, as people, we have to search for lots of inspiration. You have to go on inspirational quests, especially if you pursue art in some capacity, either for personal or you're crazy enough to try to do it for a living. But every now and then I go, quit writing about your own shit. Nobody wants to hear about that. But people out there like Lonesome Dove, as we know. And I, too, can always find inspiration in Lonesome Dove. I think it's such a fun tale. And so there's a fellow, if you're unfamiliar with Lonesome Dove, this is about a man that lives up in Nebraska, and he ends up getting kicked in the head and rendered unconscious, and he doesn't say a word, not a single word. So I wrote him a song because he needed it.
Because that was inspiring.
I found that incredibly inspirational.
In a comatose state. It was very inspiring to Linda.
You can find inspiration anywhere. You look. If you're desperate enough, you know. But anyways, this is called Dumbass, Nebraska. As if it were a place. She'll die and eat lots of peaches. That's one of my favorite songs I've ever written. I don't know why, but I like it. Yeah, have you ever, created something and you're like, do I like this? You ever done that? I do that with about every song I write, except for that one. I was like, no, I like that one. That is one of 2 Lonesome Dove songs on our latest record that can be found this way. I have to say that because we have them. We don't have any CDs, I'm sorry. We only have LPs. No compact discs. We're gonna do a song that's very extra special to us. This is one that we learned from the late great Jimmy McCowan. He was from Pike County, Kentucky. He played a lot of music across Kentucky and West Virginia, and he had a family band called the Outdoor Plumbing Company. Him and his wife Ada were married for a very long time, and they just passed away just a few years ago, almost a year to the day. And Jimmy was an incredible fiddle player. He was a phenomenal 5-string banjo player. He was a great 6-string banjo player. He was an aircraft mechanic. He was a pilot. He was a very bright light in our lives, and he taught us to kind of always continue to learn and share with others what you learn. And right before he passed away, we had the privilege of recording this beautiful song that his mother wrote with him in Huntington, West Virginia. And back here on the drums from Pono, West Virginia is Max Nolte. He engineered this song, and it is one of the most captivating and special moments that we have on a recording, that we got to play music with a loved one like that. This is a song written by Pono McCowan. It's called the Octavia Triangle.
Back in Octavia coal mine, where the air is so hard to breathe, there's a working man, they call Little Willie. He's a working hard for a woman he could not please. His best friend oh, let me tell you, Lord, if I can, why you work down here in this dirty coal mine. Your woman's running round town with another man. Very next day, she asked him about it. Oh, if the story ain't her was true. Lord, she got some mad. She cussed and shouted. When you go to work tonight, I hope you sing the last of you. That night down in Davy Coal Mine, where the air is so hard to breathe, while the top fell in on working hard for a woman he could not believe. Just just a wishing she hadn't been so mean to little Will. Way back in Davy Coal Mine, where in the air it's so hard to breathe, while the top fell in all little Willie. He was working hard for a woman he could not please. Yeah, he was working hard for a woman he could not please.
Thank y'all. Well, I was born in Dixie in the boomer shack, just a little shanty by the railroad track. The humming of the drivers was my lullaby. The freight train whistle taught me how to ride. I got the freight train blues. Lordy, 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 I've got 'em in the bottom of my shoes. And when that whistle blows, I gotta go. Lordy, lordy, guess I'm never gonna lose them freight train blues. Well, I know I'm old enough to quit my running around. I've tried 1,000 times or more to settle down. The only thing that makes me wanna navigate is a wildcat whistle on that southbound freight. I got the freight train blues. Lordy, 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 I got 'em in the bottom of my shoes. And when that whistle blows, I gotta go. Lordy, lordy, guess I'm never gonna lose them freight train blues. Tell us about it, VR. My daddy was a farmer and my mammy dear, she was the only daughter of this brave engineer. My sweetie was a brakesman and Thank you. I hope I didn't scare them horses to death. That's all I was thinking of. Like, oh. They're like, girl, I'm trying to sleep. Yeah. All right, Chip, I'm going to do one thing, but it's not going to be up here. Pants are tight. I have a deep fear that I'm gonna one day rip my pants on stage. Do y'all know who Lainey Wilson
You're really
is?
testing it.
I'm testing it tonight. Y'all know who that is? She ripped her pants on stage.
Look where that
We
got
have a
her.
similar issue.
Look where that got her.
You're right.
Superstar.
You're right. I'm nervous about it. It's a very real possibility. You know, it's always easy to sing in jeans, especially when you're crumpled up on the floor doing it. Always makes it even easier. Well, this is a very befitting song.
Hey. Well, I grew up in a very small town in eastern Kentucky. We go by counties because I don't think anybody would know where Betaville is. But just so you know, it is my hometown's hometown festival weekend this weekend. I said that last night and everybody went, oh. But you guys get it. I didn't want to go. Not for $100. I didn't want to go. Just very, very glad to be here with y'all tonight at Pono Acres. Thank you to everybody who put this together. Beautiful, beautiful place. We're getting there. Well, in my little hometown, there wasn't a whole lot to do, except for the Woolly Worm Festival, the third weekend of October, you know. That was big shit. We raced woolly worms. I never did win. I took a moth one time. And they were like, that's not going to work. You're disqualified. I didn't win. They give you a trophy that's like 5 feet tall also. It's a big deal. Anyway, there wasn't a lot to do. I used to ride mules. I used to ride and show gated mules, gated walking mules. Yeah? Anybody else? Yeah? You go to Shelbyville? We'll talk about it later. Well, so anyway, I used to ride this mule, show this mule named the Red Rooster, and he was a very decorated ass. He had won the World Grand Champion about a dozen times or something like that. And he lived to be nearly 40 years old. And he was a runaway and had all this cool stuff, you know. And my dad's buddy Paul Stamper owned him, and I would ride Rooster and show him sometimes. And Paul had, you know, a bunch of livestock, and he fell on hard times before he died, and he had to sell a lot of his livestock, but he never would get rid of Rooster. He kept him. And I got to thinking about that and thinking about that's pretty sweet and pretty loyal, you know. So this is the last mule in the holler. At the age of 36, he had done all he would do. He'd run away from one home, had the scar to show it to. A red-headed danger, he had always fought the bill. Blue ribbon in his prime, but old age has settled in. Never out to pasture, this whole life will enter soon. And he's headed for the village, low of a harvest moon. A master of his own, never bent the knee to ground. And he's headed for the trees if we don't call him now. See, it's the last music. Oh, come on, boys, let's call him. Oh, come on, you come home. When does he ride? He is on the town. And he's plowed his own grave in a field of buck and mire. A lone leopard show as the mule skinners dream. And he's took his final rest under peaceful pastures green. He is the shoulder. Oh, come on, boys, let's go. Oh, come on, you come home. Oh, come on, you come home. Oh, come on, you come home.
Over here on the electric bass, last but very much not last but not least, it's Chris Justice on the electric bass guitar, folks, from Rush, Kentucky. Very fortunate to have these fellers on the road with us. Not only are they super fun to play music with, but they're very funny, very fun to travel with. We just got off the road. We just went the most back-asswards way across the United States that you can think of. But it was a really good time. repair what is broken. I just need a little rewire. Maybe then I won't cry or need the SSR eyes fix me like a blown amplifier.
We got a couple more songs for y'all. Everybody staying warm? Well, I mean, that wasn't a resounding yes, so. Oh, okay. All right, man. Hell yeah. Well, do y'all want kind of a bedtime story? Okay. That was resounding yes, too. Hell yeah. You don't have to go to bed. I don't care what you do after the story, really. Hang out. I mean, ask Brian. Don't run into the electric fence. We about did that. It was dark, and we were walking. Well, we've been touring a lot and playing a lot, hanging out a lot. And this is a song that we've been doing nearly every night that we take the stage, and that makes me happy. I like that. This is a song that I wrote about my papaw. That's why I like that I get to have this little memory of my papaw each night and tell a bunch of strangers about him and kind of make fun of him while I do it. My papa was a big inspiration to me. He was a big hero in my life. I always wanted to write a song about him. I thought it would make a good song. He was a real character, He had a lot of stories to tell. He said a lot of papa shit. So I thought it would make for a good song. And I had to finally think about it and sit down and my papa passed away in 2006, so it's been a long time since I've got to check in with him and hear from him. And I think he would like this song, though. It's all about him. He loved that. He loved talking about himself and all of his accomplishments. But I was the only granddaughter, and I was the baby of the family, so I didn't hear a lot of these stories. I had to source this information from my dad and my older brother. And my papa, his name was Cliff Riffle. Like rifle, but with 2 F's. And he was born and raised in West Virginia, one of about 8 kids. 8 kids, that's where my research is a little, got some holes in it. But I don't really know. And his parents tragically passed away. He was orphaned. They passed away about 6 months apart from one another. And this was during the Great Depression. So 8 kids had to find some place to go, right? They couldn't all just be sent off to go live in the same place. It was the Great Depression. Nobody could take 8 kids. So they got sent to go live with neighbors and relatives and friends and church members, whoever would take them. And my papa didn't really grow up with his siblings until much later in life. And he got sent to go live with what he called the meanest woman to ever draw a breath. And it was his aunt, and he didn't like her at all. So eventually he ran away, and because that's what you did back in those days, I think. And he walked about 40 miles to Clarksburg, West Virginia, found a boys' home there. It was run by Catholic nuns. He'd never seen a Catholic nun. He didn't like them either. And I'm sure they didn't like him. He had a real smart mouth on him. And it was a real rough boys' home. You know, these kids were fighting to survive, had been through a lot of life in a short amount of time. So he ran away from there again, and he walked into town, and he found an enlistment office. And at the age of 15, he enlisted in the U.S. Navy, and by 17, he was a U.S. naval pilot. And he fought in World War II, and he was shot down in battle. He had a crash landing in the ocean off the South Pacific, in the South Pacific. And he survived the crash. His gunner did not, and he survived the crash, and he floated in the ocean for 4 days and 4 nights before he was rescued. I mean, you know, that right there was the inspiration for the song. 4 days and 4 nights in the middle of the ocean, right? I've never even been on a cruise ship. And don't plan to, you know. My family history ain't good in open water. But anyway, he survived that. He said, they nearly killed me trying to save me, but he got to come home, start a family, be a dad, be a papa, be all those things. And so I had to remember who he was and how he talked and what he said and, you know, what he wanted to talk about. And every day of my life, we ran a beer store. My family owned and operated a beer store on the county line. We were those people. And my papa was like the only old man allowed to loiter in there per my mom's rules. And people would come in, they'd say, hey, Cliff, how you doing? And he would say, better than I deserve. Every day, like many, many times a day. Just like a constant reminder to himself and to everyone else that he was happy to be wherever he was, because it was better than being out in the middle of the ocean. So I think that's how I like to remember him, you know. So this is a song I wrote about my papa. His name is Cliff Riffle. This song is called Better Than I Deserve. Thank you all so very much for being here with us tonight. This would not have been the same if you weren't here. Trust me. I've been on the other end of that, and it's not as fun when there's nobody out there. So thank you all for being here. And we're the Local Honeys. Thank you to Bailey for opening the show. Thank you to Chip for running sound and doing lights. Thank you to Brian for hosting us. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. When my granddaddy was a boy, he walked for miles and miles from Buchanan to old Jane Lou to find a place to stay a while. It wasn't a home he made his own, but one for wayward boys. Said the food was hot and the women cold, but it's better than I deserve. It's just another place to be alone, another war that can't be won. If I could pull my boots back on, I'd still be left with just the one. But the only truth I've ever known, you can't take it with you when you're gone. An orphan left alone to die, never bothered to lay down and cry. So he packed his grip and traveled extra light. Some on the plans was for tonight. He was small in his frame, but neither blind nor he lame. So he told the lie to put him in the sky, and Uncle Sam gave him a plane. It's just another place to be alone, another war that can't be won. If I could pull my boots back on, I'd still be left with just the one. But the only After 4 days he was saved. His sea floated out on board the enemy. Took him home to die with some dignity. And that's better than I deserve. It's just another place to be alone. Another war that can't be won. If I could pull my boots back on, I'd still be left with just a woman. But the only truth I've ever known, you can't take you with you when you're gone. Yeah, the only truth I've ever known, you can't take you with you when you're gone. Let the earth reclaim my body. Let the worms devour my insides. It's fed me now for oh so long. I'll feed it for days bygone. And for all that's worth you, I bet the don't need flowers or appetite to nurse the trees your baby's craft. The graveyard's getting overrun these days. So throw me in the thicket when I die. Let the earth reclaim my body. Let the worms devour my insides. It's fed me now for oh so long. I'll feed it for days bygone. And for all that's worth you, I'd bet the fall. All that's worth to you, I'd bet the Thank you all so much for sharing your evening with us. We're the local honeys. It's Chris Justice, Montana Hobbs, Max Nolte, Don Rogers. My name is Linda Jean Stokely. We really appreciate y'all being here, and we appreciate y'all having us. Hope to be back again. Thank y'all.